Hello, boys and girls. It's me, Ms Levinson. I'm ready for story time today. Are you? Well, today's story is called You Look Ridiculous, said the rhinoceros to the hippopotamus, and it's written and illustrated by Bernard Weber. Take a look at the two characters on the cover. One is a hippopotamus, and the other one is a rhinoceros. Can you guess which is which? The hippopotamus has a smooth face, and the rhinoceros has something sticking out on his face. What's it called? A horn, that's right. So he's saying to the rhinoceros, to the hippo, you look ridiculous. Let's find out what happens in this story. Once upon a time in the jungle. The setting of the story is where the location the story is taking place. And in this story, the setting is the jungle. Here we go. Once upon a time in the jungle, a rhinoceros came upon a hippopotamus splashing about in the mud. You look ridiculous, said the rhinoceros to the hippopotamus. But I like mud, answered the hippopotamus. Oh, it isn't the mud that makes you look ridiculous, said the rhinoceros. It's your nose. And the hippopotamus looked down on his face and he said, what's wrong with my nose? And he said, you don't see anything missing? The rhinoceros asked. The hippopotamus shook his head. You don't see a horn missing? Asked the rhinoceros again. A horn? Said the hippopotamus. A horn, said the rhinoceros. Your nose doesn't have a horn. And a nose without a horn looks absolutely ridiculous. So raising herself from the mud, the hippopotamus looked down at her nose once more. And when she looked up again, the rhinoceros was gone. Oh, if only I had a horn like the rhinoceros, I wouldn't look ridiculous, thought the hippopotamus. So that's the way it was with the hippopotamus. Once a worrisome thought was put into his head. She would fret and fuss and fume and just never let go of it. There's only one way to settle it, she decided. She would go and ask everyone in the jungle if they too thought that she looked ridiculous. So first she met the lion. Do you think I look ridiculous? She asked the lion. So the lion thought about it. Well, if it's an honest opinion you want, the lion began. Well, yes, said the hippopotamus. Okay, said the lion, then I must say you do look ridiculous. I mean, look at you. You haven't got a glorious mane like mine. The lion shook his mane just to prove how fabulous it was. No hard feelings, I hope, said the lion. No hard feelings, answered the hippopotamus. Oh, if only I had a glorious mane like the lion, I wouldn't look so ridiculous, thought the hippopotamus. So she moved on and she met a leopard, and she asked the leopard, do you think I look ridiculous? So the leopard studied the hippopotamus carefully. Well, now that you mentioned it, the leopard began. Yeah? Said the hippopotamus. I would say you do look ridiculous. Look at you, said the leopard. You have no spots. What you need is a handsome spotted coat like mine. And the leopard gave a good long stretch just to show off every one of his spots on his handsome coat. Well, we're still friends, I hope, said the leopard. we're still friends, said the hippopotamus sadly. Oh, if only I had spots like the leopard, I wouldn't look ridiculous, thought the hippopotamus, and she continued on her walk. Well, then she met an elephant. Do you think I look ridiculous? She asked the elephant, and the elephant seemed surprised by the question. I have to think about it, he said. So the hippopotamus waited a while the elephant thought. Aha, said the elephant. What? Said the hippopotamus. Well, you have no ears. No ears, said the hippopotamus. No ears to speak of, said the elephant. What you need are big, floppy ears like mine. So the elephant flopped his ears just to prove his point. You see what I mean, said the elephant. I see, answered the hippopotamus sadly. Oh, if only I had big floppy ears like the elephant, I wouldn't look so ridiculous, thought the hippopotamus, continuing on her walk. So she met a monkey. Do you think I look ridiculous? She asked the monkey. Well, if you call not having a tail ridiculous, then I would say you look ridiculous, answered the monkey. No tail, said the hippopotamus. Well, no tail to speak of, said the monkey. I am nearly your size and I have a magnificent tail. And with that, the monkey scrambled up the tree and swung from a branch by his tail. Nothing personal, of course, said the monkey, as he called down to the hippo. Well, of course not, said the hippopotamus sadly. Oh, if only I had a magnificent tail like the monkey, I wouldn't look ridiculous, thought the hippopotamus, and she continued on her walk. And then she met a giraffe. Do you think I look ridiculous? She asked the giraffe. Well, of course you look ridiculous, said the giraffe, getting right to the point at once. You have no neck. Well, no neck to speak of, said the giraffe. How can you possibly see the world without a long neck? I see flowers, and I see birds, and I see stars at night. And the treetops? Do you see the distant hills? Of course not, said the giraffe, answering her own questions. What you need is a long, long neck like mine. And with that, the giraffe stretched out her neck until it seemed her head would disappear into the clouds, and she went on about her business around seeing the world. I think you're very nice otherwise, said the giraffe. Thank you, said the hippopotamus sadly. Oh, if only I had a long, long neck like the giraffe, I wouldn't look ridiculous, thought the hippopotamus, and she continued on her walk. And then she met up with, look down here, you can see, a turtle. Do you think I look ridiculous? The hippopotamus asked the turtle. Well, I suppose someone should tell you, said the turtle. Yeah, said the hippopotamus. You do look ridiculous without a shell. A shell, said the hippopotamus. Oh, they're wonderful, said the turtle. I couldn't live without mine. My shell is my house, and it keeps me warm when it's cold and cool when it's hot. And if I ever need a place to hide, said the turtle, and she was backing up into her shell, I know exactly where to go. You'd have found out sooner or later, said the turtle. I suppose, answered the hippopotamus sadly. Oh, if only I had a wonderful shell, just like the turtle, I wouldn't look ridiculous, thought the hippopotamus, and she continued on her walk. So then she met a nightingale, and you can see the nightingale is in the tree, and the nightingale is a species of bird. So she asked the nightingale, do you think I look ridiculous? Well, if you don't mind me saying so, I think you do sound ridiculous, said the nightingale. What you need is a beautiful voice like mine. Listen, said the nightingale. And the nightingale sang a beautiful but sad song for the hippopotamus. And suddenly the hippopotamus could not bear to continue her walk or ask any further questions. I'm a ridiculous creature, she said. I shall find a place to hide and never show myself to anyone ever again. So the hippopotamus ran and ran and ran until she found a cool, lonely place where no one would find her. Why did I have to be born looking so ridiculous? She cried as she fell asleep that night. And while sleeping, she began to dream. And so often as it is in your dreams, her dearest wishes were granted. She dreamed she had a horn like the rhinoceroses. Look how silly she looks. There's a horn. She dreamed she had a mane like the lions, spot like the leopards, ears like the elephant, a tail, look at that tail, like a monkey, a shell like the turtle, a neck like the giraffe, and the voice just like the nightingales. Oh, so delighted was the hippopotamus with her new appearance that she ran around to show everyone how she looked. Oh, look at me, she called out in her sweet nightingale voice. I no longer look ridiculous. Everyone laughed when they saw the new hippopotamus. The monkey laughed so hard he almost fell out of his tree. What's wrong? Cried the hippopotamus. Why do you laugh? Can't you see for yourselves I no longer look ridiculous? Oh, look at her. This only made the animals laugh even more, and the hippopotamus rushed to a rain puddle to see for herself. Oh, she cried upon seeing her reflection, I look ridiculous. And she was so shaken by what she saw, she actually shook herself awake. Oh, thank goodness, said the hippopotamus. It was only a dream. So joyfully she plopped herself to the nearest mud hole. And from that day to this, she's proud to be just what she is. A big, fat, wonderful hippopotamus. And that brings us to the end of our story. You look ridiculous, said the rhinoceros to the hippopotamus. Now there's an actual lesson or a moral. Moral is a lesson of a story. What the author's trying to tell you. Do you know what the moral of the lesson is of the story? To be happy with who you are. Be satisfied with who you are and what you look like. I'm sure you all are beautiful children, and I thank you for listening to my story today. Have a great day. Bye.